super amazed and delighted to have such an amazing audience today. Thank you very much for coming over and adding value to this wonderful event. Before I request Matt, I would like to welcome you all on behalf of Mr. Humayun Mazhar, President TiE Lahore Chapter, and my entire team to this amazingly sensational evening that we have tried to put together for all of you. I would like to do a brief introduction for TiE, famously known as Indus Entrepreneurs. TiE is an international organization fostering entrepreneurship worldwide with 61 chapters around the world. It has got 13,000 members on board and it is operational in 18 different countries. TiE Lahore chapter was established in year 2002 with efforts of Sayyid Babari Sahab and few friends and visionaries like him. The charter or the mandate for TiE Lahore chapter is to foster entrepreneurship. We are trying to build a networking platform for startup founders, aspiring entrepreneurs, and trying to connect them with resources, angels, VCs, thought leaders, business professionals within their own verticals. Max is going to moderate today's session, and I would like to request Max to please come over and explain the concept of TiE Crazy and introduce our distinguished speakers to all of you. Thank you so much.
First of all, a good thing is, please do remind me to always switch off my collar microphone, because it goes with you everywhere. And if you forget to switch it off during your comfort break or something else, it could be quite crazy. But I'm not the one who's supposed to be crazy here today. I was the crazy last time we had the crazy thing here. But this time we have some remarkable people. We have explored that we use a new format. We will have a speaker here and we'll have 10 minutes assigned to the presentation for each speaker. We will have a break after 3 speakers, and at that time it's even more important to switch off your collar microphone. After that we'll have 3 more speakers. In the end, we will have a group of panelists, and all the speakers will become panelists, and you will have opportunities to ask questions and tap their wisdom and their knowledge. So that's how we're going to be. And crazy means, here, lots of things for lots of people, but for us, and we've discussed and we haven't arrived at a huge consensus about it, but let me just present to you people who have done things out of the box. People who have traveled unusual ways and unusual paths. People who have challenged themselves and challenged the environment that they live in. People who have earned a name for themselves by being different, creative, taking risks, evolving situations and things. And they're remarkable people in their own right, and they have chosen the paths that they have taken. They were offered sometimes even greater paths to tread upon. So that's the whole idea. And we will like, there's going to be certainly more humor this time than the last time. The last time I was here, my wife was also here. This time, yesterday, my wife flew off to Sweden. So I am a little more free man today, and hopefully I will use my freedom. I will use my freedom a little more. Some people tend to say I'm self-employed, and some people tend to say that self-employed people don't have bosses. Yes, some self-employed people are not married. But anyways, let's move on. So like I said, 10 minutes presentation. We don't want to put our speakers and presenters in a straitjacket, so little flexibility. At 8 minutes I will knock on the glass that I have in front of me. If Jaberia would return my seat to me, that is, and that would be an indicator. Keep sitting for me. I'll put another chair. That would indicate 2 more minutes left. We can all do time management and help each other. And then, of course, there are 2 more minutes to that, and then we like to keep around that time. It's not a regimented thing that we very strictly follow a very harsh time regime. The first person that we'd like to invite, अच्छा एक वापस भी चले जाते हैं, क्रेजी का मतलब ये है कि ज़रूरी नहीं है स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर हर चीज़ बहुत बुरी तरह फंस जाए। मेरा ख्याल है कि जवारिया नजीब के लिए ना उतनी ज़ोरदार तालियां नहीं बजी थी जितनी बजनी चाहिए। और ये उस वक्त तक नहीं बजा सकते सारी लोग जब तक उनके हाथ में टेलीफोन पकड़ा होगा। तो मेरा ख्याल है कि अगर फरहान दिली बड़ी अच्छी चीज़ है। भाई तो जिंदगी में तालियां हमेशा उसके लिए बजती हैं जो दूसरों के लिए बजाता है। And another thing is clapping is always done by generous people. And there are lots of retentive characters in the world. It's very difficult for them to clap for anybody else. They want everybody else to clap for them, but very difficult for them to give. And somebody reminded me, and he'll make it so I don't want to steal somebody else's thunder, but essentially we are actually here to give. And what is it that we really give? To begin with appreciation, I guess. So let me hear, this is a remarkable audience, wonderful people. नौजवान लोग हैं, average age about 25 years, I guess. But ज़रा ज़ोरदार तरीके से तालियां बजा दें जी। This is for you, by the way. This is for you.
बहुत शुक्रिया। I am honored.
All right. This is just a rehearsal, and I am sure that we'll be able to do for all the other speakers who come here. Remarkable young lady, social entrepreneur, extraordinary human being, very responsible, innovation, entrepreneurship, founder of several initiatives such as School Social Innovation Lab, Daftar Khan, literary Pakistan has been monumental, and her appointment as the Vice Secretary General of the International Muslim Jewish Conference has given Maryam a great exposure to varying social cultural norms. With a background in international law and degrees from numerous prestigious institutions, Maryam is committed to a cause that advance society as a whole and as a great source of guidance to many young entrepreneurs. Please put your hands together and welcome Maryam Mohiuddin.
Finally healed it sometime this week, and totally not risking wearing pretty shoes. But you have to be crazy sometimes. Huh? But I think the question really is, are we crazy? What is our madness? And why be crazy? Is there a need to be crazy in the world that we live in today? And I think that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. So I'm going to start with a story. I don't know if you guys can see this screen really well, but the books here, that's Peter and Jane. किसी को याद है Peter and Jane growing up? Lady Bird की ज़बरदस्त book series होती थी. So my dad, so this is kind of crazy. Usually women raise kids and they teach them things like reading and writing and things like that. My dad taught me how to read. And he taught me how to read using Peter and Jane books. Now how that would work is he would say, this is Peter, and I'd say, gee, this is Peter, okay? This is Jane, yes, this is Jane. I look at the pictures, I follow his words, I put my finger on the words and know what I'm reading and understand them. Now we're reading, it's been a couple of months, imagine a tiny 3-year-old Maryam, really cute and adorable and following everything Dad says, and suddenly there's this line that says, are you crazy? And Maryam doesn't say anything. And Abba's like, beta padho, are you crazy? I'm like, are you, beta, are you crazy? No, you. So 3-year-old Maryam knew that being crazy is not such a great thing. That crazy is probably a bad word. And so if anyone says, are you crazy? No, you. But that changed over time. And if it hadn't changed, why would I be standing here, right? So Maryam must be crazy, right? Well, let's say that. Let's kind of look at why or how. So for starters, so we go over the last decade or so, right? So 2005, Maryam goes up to her dad and says, "Mujhe India jana hai." And he's like, "Beta, are you in your right mind? India is not really a friendly neighbor. You are 15 years old. What are you thinking? Why do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Abba, it's the first model United Nations where Pakistanis have been invited to India, and I'm a great debater, and I can talk about things, and I really want to go." And my mom, being the angel that she is, she says, "Yeah, done it. Why not? Let's give it a chance, right?" So 2005, akeli si choti si ladki goes to India. 2007, she ends up going to school, having studied sciences all her life, and says to mom, "Hey, I don't want to study bio anymore, and I know you really want me to be a doctor, लेकिन मुझे English literature पढ़ना है, और मुझे John Keats पढ़ना है, and I really want to figure out what Shakespeare is all about." And I have teachers in my school who are like, "You have never taken literature before in your life. You have never taken economics before in your life." 2010, go on and enter this amazing group of people at this conference in Vienna called the Muslim Jewish Conference. "Kyun ja rahe ho beta? Why do you want to go fraternize with the Yehudi?" I'm like, "Oh mom, my friend says to me that they need more strong women, they need a debater, I kind of fit the profile, let me go." And so I end up going, and a month later I'm on the core team, and 7 years later I'm the Vice Secretary General. And the idea is, you need to step outside, right? That there's maybe some great kind of potential in being crazy. But that's obviously not where it ends, right? So I'm learning the Viennese waltz in this crazy hotel in Slovakia from this German girl, and she's fantastic. But then, of course, 2011, we went on ahead, and what we'd started, a youth movement in 2010 called Gujarati Pakistan. And the idea was कि यार बहुत हो गई है, Karachi में violence, यहाँ violence, Dhamma violence, and you had your relatives calling in from Australia, from the US, from the UK saying, leave Pakistan, there's nothing good here. And I'm like, "No, but I have my school, and I have my friends, and I have my university, and this is pretty great. I'm learning about magic and ritual and witchcraft." And they're like, "No, but what's really happening?" And you realize that, yeah, we suck at communication as Pakistan, as a country. We are so bad at marketing ourselves. There is such phenomenal stuff going on here, and people just don't know about it. So 2010, start a youth movement that is focused on getting young people to start taking action, right? Because old people are too busy making money and raising their kids and, putting stuff in the bank balance and this and that. So how about young people, right? We have a lot of time. So said, okay, aao chalo, let's all get together. Start this youth movement, start telling people about all the amazing things that are happening here. 2011, turned that youth movement into a publishing house. And 2012 published the very first handbook on social entrepreneurship in Pakistan. अब ये एक नई चीज़ थी ना 2011 में suddenly like, यार you can make social impact and you can make money. And it's not exclusive, like you don't have to be like some, the crazy person जिस अपनी सारी ज़िंदगी उठा के social work में लगा देनी है, एंड में घर में पैसे नहीं होने, कोई गाड़ी नहीं होनी, मुश्किल से खाना खाने, नहीं, that doesn't need to be it, right? You can make money and you can do good. And somehow people just don't talk about it. That is not a career option to most kids. They don't even know the word. Why? Have to change it. 2012 published the very first handbook on social entrepreneurship in Pakistan with 5 case studies of amazing businesses making money and making change. 2012, this is the handbook for social enterprise in Pakistan. Same year, I went off to one of the best law schools in the world. Studied human rights, graduated with a distinction with my thesis, with all of that. My dad saying, "Acha yaar, great idea, great plan, OPT visa ek cheez hoti hai, right? So you sign on for 1 year of work experience in the US, and a year later, bam, you have H1B. Hey, great, very soon you can become a citizen. Maryam, give the California bar exam." And I'm like, "Okay dad, I can do that." But I was obviously not going to do that. So a week after I graduated, I came back to Pakistan. And I joined an NGO, and I was being paid 14,000 rupees a month. After having graduated from one of the best law schools in the world, I was not even earning enough to pay for my rickshaw to my workplace. And my work was pretty neat. So my work entailed three things. I was working with death penalty clients, I was working on a blasphemy law case, and I was working with a brilliant photographer on a media campaign to release 32 Pakistanis who had so far been detained in a secret prison in Afghanistan. And the Pakistani government didn't even know about it till a UK NGO released a list. And part of my job back in the day, actually used to be two things, court, right? The first thing was after having read all these amazing things and written this crazy thesis and all that, I was translating letters from Pashto and Urdu into English. But these were not ordinary letters. These were letters that those 32 men had written through the ICRC, through the Red Cross, to their family in Pakistan. And apart from that, I was visiting Kot Lakpat jail 6 hours every week. Usme se 2 ghante baad I'd be so sunstroke that the next 2 days I'd be sick in bed. And then I'd go back to Kot Lakpat. And through all of this, I was constantly told by my parents, by my friends, by everyone around me, what on earth are you doing? You mad? Are you mad? Are you crazy? But then, if you think about it, is that me? Because if you look at it, 17% of the world owns 80% of its resources. 783 million people do not have access to clean drinking water. 250 million women are victims of child marriage, so they get married before they are 15 years old. 2.5 billion people don't have access to sanitation. 7.6 million people are outside of school. 1.2 billion live below $1 a day. And I can go on. 60,000 people die from hunger every day. I can keep going on. This is not even the half of it. So actually, it's our world that is insane. And in a world that is insane, people like me, the NGO that I was working with, are not enough. One person is not enough. Unless you have an army of crazies, it is not enough. Crazies need crazies. And I found mine over the last 3 years. These are entities, people, incredible movements that have changed the face of Pakistan and the world. A lot of these are entrepreneurs that I've been working with as part of my co-working space, my incubator, and other partner organizations. 3 stories that I'll tell you very quickly. These guys, crazy boys, Rizk, Huzaifa, Musa, and Qasim. These boys came to me and said, "Yaar, bada khana zaya jata hai roz, hame is khane ka kuch karna hai." I said, "Acha, khana de do, baant do." कहते नहीं, हमें बांटना नहीं, हमें बेचना है. We want to sell excess food. I was like, "You are crazy. Who will buy excess food?" Today, these guys are selling 450 meals a day. They save 2 tons of food every month, and they feed 600 people on a daily basis. 150 they feed for free. This guy, Asif, Lok Savari Adventures, he was a rickshaw driver when I met him. हम एक देख के कहते थे, "बाजी, मैंने भी business खोलना है. One day, I'm going to have a plane." Because he used to take around these international interns, making them see, "Oh Lord." कहते हैं, मैंने एक दिन अपनी जहाज चलाना है, वो मैं जहाज tourism, I'll have tours around the world. Today, he has served over 700 tourists. He has the only tourism company which has a focus on human geography. That is, the stories of the people, of the places that he takes his tours to. And he just got one of the largest tech companies in Pakistan to promise him in-kind sponsorship of millions. That, can you imagine this? Can you believe it? Rickshaw driver, 8वीं जमात से बाहर निकला. He's a school dropout, not even high school. He's a secondary school dropout. This guy, Qasim Qazi, he comes and says to me, "I know how to pull people out of chronic poverty." And I'm looking at his face saying, "Ye kaise?" He's like, यार एक चीज़ है, it's called a revolving livestock model. So every 18 months I go to a family, I give them 10 goats, 18 chickens, and a little bit of seeds. The seeds they use to feed themselves, to grow vegetables. The chickens and the goats multiply. Eggs, poultry, milk, and then of course more goats and more chickens. At the end of those 18 months, I go back to them and said, yeah, 10 goats वापस करो, 18 मुर्गी वापस करो, I'm going to give this to someone else. Over the last 5 years, he has pulled out 425 households from chronic poverty in South Punjab. He has made revenue in excess of, so he's making money, 5.5 million rupees. And this guy has won 3 international awards. He wants to scale this up.